Good morning, everybody. So I'm at Hills Creek State Park. This was about a 3.5 hour drive for me to get here. So I've had a very early morning. It's about 10 o'clock. I'm gonna get the Tucktec folding kayak set up. We're gonna get out on the lake. This is supposed to be a beautiful spot to paddle, really great for wildlife watching. Alright guys, so they have a nice boat launch here. They actually have two of them. So really easy to launch, not too far to walk with your kayak equipment down to the launch point. But it's just beautiful here, so quiet. I'm here on a weekday. So this is Hills Creek State Park. I'm on a little Pennsylvania road trip, so I tried to time it with the fall foliage. I don't know, there's a lot of pine trees around the lake, so I'm not really seeing a lot of changing leaves, but I think I will as I head towards some other state parks. So yeah, I'm really loving the folding sports gear season of life. So when I go to these state parks, I always keep a kayak in my trunk because you just never know when you're gonna go somewhere to hike and you're gonna see a beautiful lake and the opportunity is gonna present itself to get out on the water. And that's what we have today. This lake is just beautiful. And according to the state park website, you can see a lot of unique birds here. Loons live here. So I did bring my good camera in case I see any wildlife. Now, a really good reminder, if you're going to paddle in a Pennsylvania state park, make sure you have a boat registration or a launch permit. I think it's $10 for the year, not a big deal. I just had to renew mine, so I don't have the sticker on the kayak, but I have the temporary paper that allows me to launch. Don't get fined because they do fine you if you don't have a launch permit. So save yourself some money. Our state parks are free, so I always feel like, fine, you want to charge me $10, no big deal. Trying to be fairly quiet because there's a lot of people out here fishing and I don't want to disturb them, but it is so quiet and beautiful here. An osprey flew by and then a bald eagle chased it. I got some footage of that and you can just start to see just the slightest kind of hints of yellows and oranges in the trees around the lake. It's not a very big lake here, but it's very beautiful. I just kayaked through a section with a lot of lily pads that was especially pretty. And it looks like it's pretty great for fishing based on the number of boats and people fishing here. It's just a beautiful, pristine lake, so quiet, so peaceful, and really nice launching facilities, which is always great. I can hear a kingfisher, and you can hear that distinct noise, but they do not stay in one spot for very long, so I don't think I'm going to have any luck filming them. I actually think there is a young deer straight ahead. All right, so we're coming back to where we started. Like I said, this is a pretty small lake. But that's the nice thing about having the folding kayak. In a couple minutes I can be out here, a couple minutes can have it back in the car. And after this, I'm gonna hike a little bit. Also, if you are interested in getting your own Tucktec, I have a 10% discount for all my viewers. You can find that in the description or in the pinned comment. And then if you're not totally sold on Tucktec and you want to see more, or you just are curious about other places I've kayaked and things like that, check out my Tucktec playlist. There are dozens of videos for several different models of the folding kayaks, and you can kind of see why these are tried and tested and our family loves them. So a lot of people have said that their main issue with the folding kayak is kind of like getting in and out, because it is flexible, so you don't have the traditional sides to push up and down on. So one of the things, my tip to you is when you launch or when you exit, always launch parallel to the shoreline if you're not at an official boat launch or a dock. You want the kayak to be sideways with the shore. Then a lot of times I take my paddle, I use it as almost like a crutch to steady myself. I also like to get up on my knees sometimes and then stand up that way. I find that helpful. Another suggestion that I saw on the Tucktec website is to take the nose of your boat up on the shore, undo the front latch, and walk out of it. So that's another way. A third option I saw on the Tucktec website is to tie a rope from the handle in the front and use the rope from that to give yourself leverage to get yourself up. So lots of good ideas. So let's talk a little bit about Hills Creek State Park. So this is in Tioga County. This is a 407-acre park, and like I said, the lake is really great for seeing wildlife. Loons live here. You can often see herons, all kinds of different wildlife. And this area was originally known as Kelly's Swamp. And Kelly's Swamp was impounded by beaver colonies back in the day. So pretty neat to think what the landscape must have looked like. And then the stream here was named for Captain William Hill, hence the name Hills Creek of the state park. And the park opened in 1953. So things have been pretty dry in Pennsylvania. As you can see, this is all dried up here. So I just passed a large group of hikers. It's always great to see a lot of people out enjoying a beautiful morning on the trails. It looks like this trail is pretty popular here as it goes near the lake. See these big pine trees. Of course, you have glimpses of the lake out there. This neat tree, look at its root system, how maybe water has carved underneath it there. Pretty big sturdy pine tree, pretty cool looking. The lake trail that I am on now is 2.9 miles. It's very relatively flat, a lot of gravel put down to make it easy for you. You have amazing views of the lake. I love a trail like this. Sometimes the lakeshore trails can be a little swampy or things like that. This is definitely not. Gravel's very tightly packed. There's no signs of water on the trail, but I gotta show you this view. Look how pretty. Gorgeous, huh? So like I said, you can see it already. Look at all the fallen leaves. Things are changing fast around here. Thanks so much for coming along with me to Hills Creek State Park. I'm gonna get some lunch and I'm gonna move on to the next stop.